Munster gave Toulouse a bit of a scare. My name's Mark, let's talk rugby. Both these teams knew that they were already through to the knockout stages, so they were jostling for position. Toulouse were looking for a big win by at least, I think it was 7 points or something, to pip La Rochelle for top spot and number one seeding for the round of 16, and that would give them a home draw right up to including this semi-final. Munster were looking for a 4-try bonus point win in order to actually overtake Toulouse and get themselves a home tie in the round of 16. So it was Toulouse who really started the better of the two. After a couple of minutes, they get themselves a penalty. O'Malley coming in at the side, he thought that he'd actually won a penalty for a turnover for Munster, but it goes against him. Jamley steps up, he pops that over. It's 3-0 after a couple of minutes. Then more pressure, a few more minutes of Toulouse pressure, have the line under siege, and Malia goes over. Conversion's missed, but it's 8-0 to Toulouse. Then even more pressure from Toulouse again. Leads to another penalty. Chamonix does the honours from the tee, and we're at 11-0, and Toulouse really look like they're on a mission. Munster find it difficult to string faces together and get themselves into the game. Toulouse are finding gaps, and they're making good meters, and they're always looking dangerous on attack. And it's not just the fact that they're finding those gaps, it's also the fact that a lot of hard running from big men into contact as well is helping them to get even more meters after contact. From Munster's point of view, then it's difficult for them because they have to keep resetting the defensive line and can't really get any line speed in the defence because of that. When Munster are trying to attack, then the likes of Marchand are getting over the ball and winning turnover penalties for them as well. But from Munster's point of view, still the likes of Peter O'Mahony's looking lively as always. He is a nuisance at the breakdown and at the line-out as well. We have some really heavy hits going in from both sides, likes of Frisk and Byrne from Munster, and then Arnold putting in some real monsters for Toulouse as well. Munster lose Haley. He kind of falls awkwardly. He's running the ball back and he's evading some defenders, and I don't know whether he goes over his ankle or something, but it's not involved in a tackle. So they lose him. Beckatoa has to come on. That means Crowley then shifts to full back. Munster are slowly working their way into the game. The attack from the back were pretty solid scrum. Scrum actually went pretty well most of the game for Munster. Toulouse did get the nudge a couple of times in big moments, but most of it, Munster were pretty solid and won themselves a pretty few penalties as well. They get themselves a penalty advantage for not rolling away, but their move breaks down. So come back for the penalty to then do a tap penalty. They're pounding away at the line, and finally then Hognick gets himself over for the try. The conversion isn't that difficult. It's pretty kickable. Carberry misses it. He was left out of Ireland's Six Nations squad this week as well. Looks like he is very low on confidence at the minute, not just from the kicking tee. We did see signs of him getting a little bit of confidence back in the earlier games, but this one, seems like maybe he's really struggling with that. But it's 11-5 at that stage. Munster then win a penalty at the scrum, and Toulouse had themselves in a pretty decent position, but Ryan basically folds by in that one. They then work their way upfield and get another penalty. Carby just about gets it. It's 11-8 at that stage. Then Munster really back in the game. Toulouse, though, they get themselves in another good position at the close of the half. Munster managed to halt their 5-minute line-out maul. So Toulouse then decide to use some one-out runners, but Munster are holding them out. Then Ryan gets himself over the ball. He wins a penalty for holding on. They get the ball off the field. Halftime score is 11-8. Toulouse bossed most of the first half, but Munster did really well to get themselves back to within 3 points. And, it really was like they really did fight their way back in the game. As I said, Toulouse are pretty dominant for large stretches of the half, but Munster really shown some real grit there that was maybe missing in previous seasons and even at the start of the season in the URC, but we've seen them build up through the season and they're improved. They're obviously still an improving team. Into the second half, then Munster start pretty brightly, in a nice attacking position. But again, Mershon gets himself over the ball, wins another turnover for Toulouse, and Toulouse then they start applying pressure again, but a little bit of actually lacking at crucial moments. They're trying to find space out wide, but the passes aren't sticking for them. We have some terrific play then from Coombs and Daly, like the Coombs going into contact and then kind of gives a sideways pass out to Daly, who then gives a lovely pass on to Casey as well. Casey goes through a hole. He gets tackled just as you think he's maybe going to go away and score. He goes head over heels, but he does manage to offload out to Daly from there to keep the ball alive. Munster then spread the ball. They're kind of attacking on the left-hand wing. They spread the ball over to the right, and then Byrne goes over there. Again, though, Carberry misses the conversion that he really should have gotten. Munster lead, but it's only 13-11. It should be more than that at this stage. And, Carberry's kicking really is costing them. Just after that, then Healy comes on to replace Carberry at 10. And, my question is, can Carberry recover his confidence before Ireland's Rugby World Cup squad gets announced? He should get some game time in the warm-up games for the Rugby World Cup as they kind of look, to finalise the squad. But the fact that he's now at the Six Nations squad, unless there is an injury, he's not going to see any game time there. There probably will be an injury, just the way things go, right? But he's got to then grasp that chance with both hands. And at the moment, I can't see him doing that. But back to the game then. Ntamak with a lovely 50-22. Gets Toulouse into a decent position. Coombs managed to nick the ball off them. He kind of gets, after they've taken the line out and they're spreading the ball, he kind of gets into the passing channel. He nicks the ball, but then he knocks it on. Referee says he knocks it on, but looked like maybe, there was Toulouse hand in there as well. But Toulouse have position and possession in a really, good part of the field. Again, they apply their pressure and they get a penalty right in front of the post. Byrne going for that jackal. He's just off his feet though as he's lifting the ball. So Toulouse then nail the penalty. They go back to the lead 14-13 and the game really is swinging, all the time. It's just one team takes the lead, either team comes back, like they really are just kind of slugging it out. Munster then comes storming back from the restart. They go really close to getting over, like within a metre or so of the line. But then when they try and spread it, Toulouse managed to repel them all the way back to the edge of 22, but they do concede a penalty. Healy puts that one over, so Munster back in front then, 16-14. Toulouse, then, they're looking for the leading score. They're going through the phases. They're in the Munster 22, but there's a neck roll, clear out, so they give Munster a penalty. And, there was some very aggressive defence there from Munster in that set. Like, you had Hognet, Omani and Coombs all really making life difficult for them. And, Toulouse never really looked comfortable, really in possession, because there was just so much pressure coming on them. Munster, though, then they obstruct from the line out just inside their own 22. It's a really soft penalty to give away. And it's something we saw Leinster do the same thing against Racing. And it just seems to be something that's happening with a lot of the Irish teams. Just that, attention to detail and just getting those things right. And it's from players that we would expect to be doing better with stuff like that, But Jaminet steps up then, and he puts that penalty over. Toulouse back in front 17-16. Munster, then they're making errors, and it's kind of denying them the momentum that they need to try and press on for that win. Ben Healy then gets himself a yellow card. It's one of these where he was the ball carrier, but he's leading with his arm away from his body. He then catches, I don't know who it was for Toulouse, but he catches one of the tackler in the chest, and then his arm slips up and hits him in the neck. So the referee deems that a yellow card. Now, some people may say it was just a penalty, but you just have to play what the referee says. So Munster down to 14 men at that point, and you feel like from that point on, Toulouse really have Munster under the pump. We have a massive Toulouse scrum, wins them a penalty. Jaminet then splits the posts from out wide to make it 2016. Munster, they're trying to respond, but they're getting isolated. And Mershon and Dupont are getting over the ball. But both teams in the final few minutes, they're both pushing for another score. So there's lots of back and forth between them. Not much continuity. Toulouse, they're on the Munster line, trying desperately to get over. And Munster finally get in there and turn them over. They get the ball off the field. The final score is 2016. Both teams, as I said, have qualified for the knockout stages, but neither of them really got what they wanted out of the game. But it did really feel like a proper Heineken Cup game. And it's a type that in the old format of the Heineken Cup, where we had the pools of four, where we would almost see this type of game, almost every week, because there was something on the line in every game. And it's come down to this final round where we're seeing games like that. And I heard some commentators saying, the organisers would be very happy, after all the stick that they've gotten, that we're finally getting games like this in the final round, and the people complaining about the format, must feel foolish now, and etc. etc. But no, because these are the types of situations, types of games that in the Heineken Cup, in the old format, you would see, multiple examples of this type of game every single round, because every round had something on it, whether it's a team like battling away to get that losing bonus point, or losing bonus point away from home, or a team trying for a number of phases to get that fourth try bonus point right to death. You'd see that kind of stuff all the time, and teams trying to get themselves back within 7 to get the losing bonus point, because every point really did count. Whereas how many teams came into their matches, like these two knew they'd qualified, already for the knockout stages. Like, how many times in the old format did you have two teams who went into the final game knowing that they both qualified? Generally, one of them, would have qualified maybe, and then the other one has a certain goal, whether it's a losing bonus point or, like losing bonus point and a try bonus point, or a win or a bonus point win that they're aiming for to qualify. But most of the teams coming into this round knew whether they were in or out, and there were very few spots actually up for it. So, I don't agree with the whoever it was one of the English commentators anyway, maybe Austin Healy, or it was somebody that he was on commentary with, I think in the Racing, was it? No, in the Quins game, sorry. The Quins versus Sharks game. But I don't agree with that at all. I think the own format is so much better. But back to this one. So Toulouse, they had to work hard for the win in the end, and they couldn't put La Rochelle to top spot, but still they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the knockout stages. Munster, kicking from the tee really let them down. Also, handling errors limited some of their opportunities, and they're going to have to go away in the round of 16. Now, it is Munster. They're not the Munster of the old vintage, but they are building. So, don't write them off just yet.